This video is brought to you by REP Gaming Products. Help protect your deck and support the show by picking up a steel deck box from the link down below.
Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Brew About Nothing. So last week, during Aristocrats deck decks, all of our decks were kind of roughly in the same place. I think technically Experimental Red won, but then we played Experimental Red on stream, and we've played a ton of Standard lately. Plus, furthermore, I really love Aristocrats, so this week we are heading to Modern to play some Abzan Aristocrats. Basically, looking to stock our graveyard, reanimate everything, drain our opponents out of the game with Blood Artist, with Zulaport Cutthroat, so I'm excited for this deck. I just love self-sacrifice Aristocrat style decks, and it seems like Stitcher's Supplier might make a competitive version of Aristocrats in Modern finally possible. So, like usual, gonna do a super quick 2-minute refresher deck. If you want to hear more about Abzan Aristocrats, make sure to check out the Instant Deck where we kind of ramble on for a while about the deck. A quick reminder before we break down Abzan Aristocrats for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Much Brew in general, it would be awesome of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Abzan Aristocrats, and the big new addition is Stitcher's Supplier, and kind of the plan of this deck is really simple. We are looking to get a bunch of cheap creatures in our graveyard, then we're looking to sacrifice all the creatures we have on the battlefield, then we're looking to get back all of our creatures, sacrifice them again. Stitcher's Supplier, just a really efficient way to get cards in our graveyard, 3 when it enters, 3 more when we sacrifice it, plus it itself is a creature in the graveyard. We combine it with Viscera, which is our primary main deck sacrifice outlet, not only sacrificing our creatures, but letting us scry through our deck to find our specific payoffs. As a kind of reason to do all the sacrificing, we have Blood Artist and Zulaport Cutthroat, which are our main finishers. If we can play a bunch of creatures, sack a bunch of creatures, we get a bunch of drain triggers with Blood Artist and Cutthroat, then when we get all of our creatures back, we get to do it again, maybe enough to just drain our opponent completely out of the game. Our 2 big reanimation spells are Rally the Ancestors and also Return to the Ranks. Return to the Ranks just kind of a backup, little bit weird, little bit more expensive. The main one is Rally the Ancestors, which in our deck is basically 4 mana, get back all of our creatures, sometimes 5 mana because we have a couple of 3-drops, but mostly we're looking to stock the graveyard with Stitcher's Supplier, play a bunch of random dorks, sack the random dorks to get Blood Artist triggers, then we rally, get back all those creatures, sack all of our creatures again, hopefully drain our opponent out of the game. We can use our Viscera to scry to find our Rally of the Ancestors, and maybe if we need to do it again, we can scry again to find another Rally of the Ancestors if the first huge drain doesn't do it, and then drain our opponent out of the game completely. Elvish Visionary, Voice Resurgence, just kind of cheap fodder that keep us churning through our deck, kind of doubling up our sack triggers. Visionary, we can play it, we can sack it for drain triggers. Then we have another card that we can hopefully use to sacrifice as well. Voice of Resurgence, just straight up 2 sack triggers, because when it dies, we get a token, which we can also sacrifice, so a clean way to double up our sacrifice stuff. Eternal Witness, just for graveyard value, if we happen to mill over a Rally the Ancestors or something with our Stitcher Supplier, we can get it back with Eternal Witness. A bunch of mana dorks just to speed things up, Collected Company to grab a couple of creatures, just a lot of value in the deck. 1 Worship as a jank about plan against combo decks, some fetch lands, shock lands, Horizon Canopy for extra card draw, some basic lands, Blooming Marsh. In the sideboard, we get more Worship for combo and aggro, Settle the Wreckage Lone Missionary, primarily for aggro-y creature decks. Evolutionary Leap, really helpful against control, keeps us grinding through our deck. Thalia to slow down decks like Storm, Thoughtseize helps there as well. Stony Silence for Tron, Affinity, Hardened Scales, Rex Age to blow up artifacts and enchantments, and that is Abzan Aristocrats for Modern, and that's our Much Brew deck for this week. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Alright, Much Brew About Nothing time. We are playing some Abzan Aristocrats, and this hand's pretty good. This is pretty much what we're looking for. So turn 1 birds, turn 2 Seer Visionary maybe? And then we even have a Rally the Ancestors in hand, so we're working towards something. We're mostly missing a Blood Artist for dealing damage, Flooded Strand for our opponent, and passes. I'll play Windswept Teeth, crack it, grab a Godless Shrine, untap, play Viscera, play Elvish Visionary, draw a card. Boy, we got rallies and rallies and rallies. We're going to need to find mana, though. That's the main thing we're missing. Mana and hopefully a Blood Artist to actually win the game. Hallowed Fountain, tapped. Opponent, tap land. All right. Well, opponent passes. We can eventually scry for mana, too. Worship, ugh. Well, play Voice of Resurgence. Play Stitcher's Supplier. Mill some cards. This might kind of give away what we're doing. Yup. Creatures? Maybe? We really just want to mill a Blood Artist, honestly. Or Zulaport Throw. Either one. One of our Blood Artist effects. Alright. Elves and Viscera here. Yeah, that's fine. Go attacking. I mean, we also have a pretty nice janky beatdown going. Hit our opponent. So now we're in a point where if our opponent ever taps out, we will probably just do a bunch of sacking to try to find a land. Otherwise, we just keep beating down with our dorks. Flooded Strand. Opponent passing. Avacyn's Pilgrim. Well, go to combat. Do some attacking. Opponent takes it. Yeah, play Avacyn's Pilgrim. Supreme Verdict could be a thing, which would mostly be bad because it would put us down a land. So we couldn't immediately rally. Pass the turn. Maybe we should be sacking more aggressively just to try to hit our land drops. Like, maybe we should have sacked Visionary last turn? I don't know. Opponent cracks. Down to 11. I mean, our opponent's going to need a sweeper, or they're just going to lose to the jankiest of beatdowns. Our motley crew of jank. Tap land. Okay. Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we sack a... Yeah, let's... Well, I guess we have mana now. Alright, untap. We have 2 mana dorks, and we do our land. Alright, so go to combat. Attack with all of our non-mana creatures. Wow. Opponent's going to give us some free Voice of Resurgence value? Jeez. Okay, sure. So opponent, let's see how they block. Blocks and blocks. Sack Visionary. Scry. Voice. Well, I guess that's good enough to leave on top. Sack Stitcher Supplier. Mill Voice. And there's a Blood Artist. Okay. Sack Viscera Seer. Now we should just be able to win. Okay. I guess we'll keep Return to the Ranks. I guess we're going to mill it, but... whatever. That's fine. Because we do just win here. So opponent takes 2. Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Rally. Why our opponent's tapped out. X2, I guess? Yeah, X2. Get back our dorks. Draw a card. Mill our opponent. And now we just sacrifice stuff and we win. We milled the Blood Artist. That's what we needed. Mill some stuff. Yup. Draw a card. Sack Visionary. Drain our opponent. And we have more than enough creatures to just drain our opponent out. Scrying doesn't matter anymore. Sacrifice Stitcher Supplier. Drain our opponent. And that's what we're trying to set up. Turn 5 kill. Gaining a bunch of life along the way. Yup. Company, sure. Sacrifice Voice of Resurgence. Drain our opponent. Sacrifice Voice of Resurgence. Drain our opponent. And this is exactly what our deck's trying to do. My mouse is going funky. All right, there we go. Drain our opponent. Sure, on top. Sure, on top. Sacrifice Elves of Deep Shadow. Drain our opponent. Company on top. Sacrifice Viscera Seer. Drain our opponent. So our opponent's probably going to bring in Graveyard Hate, but this is the power of the deck. Sack a 7/7. Drain our opponent. Let's sack a 7/7. We're sacking so much power worth of creatures, but it's worth it. It's worth it to get the win. And yeah, we'll finish him off with an Elemental. And that's the power of Aristocrats. Winning out of nowhere through the blockers. The deck can do some really explosive things when everything pulls together properly. All right, so against control, Worship is bad. Evolutionary Leap is very good. This lets us grind with the control decks a bit. Thoughtseize is also in the conversation. we probably have to bring in Rex Sages, actually. Rex Sage, let's go down Return to the Ranks. Go down Worship. Go up 2 Evolutionary Leaps. Go up 2 Rex Sages, because Rex Sage can deal with Graveyard Hate. Rest in Peace is something we got to be concerned about. Sideboard out a couple of Mana Dorks. Voice is good. Visionary's fine. We probably could go down 1 Zulaport Cutthroat. Maybe we go down Cutthroat and... Do we go down 1 Visionary? I do like Visionary. Let's go down Cutthroat Visionary. Go up Thoughtseize, Thoughtseize. Try it like that. Seems fine. We're trying to basically fight through Graveyard Hate is our main concern. Our instant speed, Collected Company, Rally the Ancestors value, really good against control, but it is very possible just to get locked or essentially locked by Graveyard Hate. Alright, that sounds good. We have turn 1 Thoughtseize to get rid of a Rest in Peace, and then a bunch of random dorks. No mana dorks, but it's fine. Alright, we'll just Swamp and Thoughtseize. 2 Terminuses, a Surgical, 2 Cryptics. Alright, we'll take Surgical. Opponent's hand is super slow. If they get to start putting Terminuses back on top, it'll be good. Although Viscera Seer can protect us from that. Hallowed Fountain, tapped. Opponent, Glacial Fortress, and passes. Ooh, Birds of Paradise. Well, Windswept Heath, crack it. Grab a Temple Garden, untapped. Play Viscera Seer. Play Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. Viscera Seer is kind of like our hoser to... Ooh, opponent's missing their land drop. That's our way to fizzle these Terminates. Well, Godless Shrine, untapped. Get in with Viscera Seer. And I guess we just play the cards in our hand. Play Elvish Visionary. Draw a card. Ooh. Well, why are opponents tapped out? Let's Evolutionary Leap. Pass the turn. That's a lot of value. That is a lot of value going forward. Opponent finds a Field of Ruin. And passes. Well, go to combat. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Let's run out a Blood Artist. Run out a Stitcher Supplier. Mill some cards. Uh-oh. What's our opponent pathing? Oh, is this a little Secure the Waste? Alright. It's just a mini Secure the Waste. That's fine. Alright. Mill Stitcher, Spire, and Birds. Opponent is 1 land away from these Cryptics. Ugh. Opponent draws Rest in Peace. Alright. Well, we'll let it go. And then I guess we just... That is a good draw for our opponent. We probably just main phase Collected Company to try to find Rex Sage. Blood Artist. Yeah. Well, let's Collected Company. Ooh, Dispel. Huh. Alright. That's less than ideal. Pass the turn. Well, we're back to knowing our opponent's hand. Cryptic, Cryptic, Terminus, Terminus. Opponent. Passing. Well, play Horizon Canopy. Ugh, this is not ideal. Pass the turn. Oh, that Rest in Peace. Brutal. Opponent. Passing. Sack of Visionary. We get a Viscera Seer. Alright. Untap. Voice could pay dividends in the future. Go to combat. Yeah, let's just pass. Awkward. Awkward, awkward. Opponent. Untaps. Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. Opponent. Passing. Well, let's trade in a Stitcher Supplier. I don't like exiling things. We get another Voice. I guess we didn't mill anything important. We really need a Rex Sage. Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Yeah, let's pass. Opponent. Yeah, Rest in Peace is good against us. Passing. No, let's cash in a Blood Artist. All the Voices. Cash in Viscera Seer. Birds of Paradise. Alright. I'll play Birds of Paradise. Play Viscera Seer. Pass the turn. We know we got these Terminuses to play around. Opponent. Ooh, gonna get frisky. Okay. Hits us. Down to 9. Well, cash in Viscera Seer. For Viscera Seer. Sack Horizon Canopy. Bloom Blooming Marsh. Well, play the Forest. Play Voice of Resurgence. Resolves. Yeah, I guess we just pass. Keep leaving up the ability to sack stuff. We're drawing tons of cards, but we're not making any real headway. Ooh. Alright. Well, sack Voice, get a Visionary, get a token, discard Blooming Marsh. Man, we cannot find these Rex Sages. Opponent. Passing. Okay. Well, play Visionary. Draw a card. Windswept Heath. Get in with our Elemental. Opponent paths. Yup. We will grab a Forest. Well, play Voice Resurgence. Pass the turn. Eventually our opponent's going to get to that Terminus mana. Opponent. Passing. Well, crack Windswept Heath. Oh man, we're almost out of lands. Get an Overgrown Tomb. Cash in Visionary. Visceracy. Play Visceracy. Go to combat. Get in with Voice. What a weird game. Yeah, Rest in Peace is a good card against us. Might be a downvote for this deck, actually, because so many people are... Dredge is such a popular deck at the moment. Opponent takes it. Yup. I'll pass the turn. A little bit unfortunate we have not found a Rex Sage with all this sacking. Opponent. We're keeping a nice handful of stuff for when our opponent actually does Terminus. Opponent. 2 Cryptics, 2 Terminuses. Opponent passes. Okay. Ooh. Well, go to combat. Get in with Voice. Hit our opponent. Ooh, opponent's gonna double block. Interesting. Okay. Double blocks. Voice dies. Well, let's Thoughtseize. Alright, opponent Cryptics. Oh, they hit a Terminus. Okay, this is going to get interesting. So they're gonna cast a Terminus. We are gonna sack our board, hopefully find a Rex Sage. Are they going to cast it? It looks like. Opponent. Alright, cast Terminus. So we sack birds. Rex Sage. Blood Artist. Sack birds. There's a Rex Sage. Well, yeah, sack Visceracy. Terminus kind of fizzles. So let's Rex Sage. Get rid of this Rest in Peace. Finally. Stitcher's Supplier. And, yeah, we'll just pass. Discard a Blood Artist. Alright. No more Rest in Pieces. Land for our opponent. They still have 2 Terminuses in hand. And 1 Cryptic. But we also have a pretty good handful of cards. Surgicals, Collected Company. That's fine. I mean, Collected Company is good, but with Evolutionary Leap going, it's not really necessary. It does let our opponent look at our hand. Man, Rest in Peace makes the game so awkward. Opponent. They found another one. Alright. Terminus, Cryptic, 1 unknown in hand. Well, it's beatdown time. Opponent. Passes. Go to combat. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Play Voice. Play a Plains. And pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Eventually, they're going to have to start casting these Terminuses. Alright, here's Terminus number 1. So we sack everything. Voice Resurgence. Avacyn's Pilgrim. Actually, I don't know if we sack Stitcher's Supplier. Reclamation Sage. Blood Artist. Yeah, we can't sack Stitcher's Supplier. That goes to the bottom. Opponent. Passing. Zulaport Cutthroat. Well, play Pilgrim. Sack Pilgrim. Play Birds of Paradise. Sack Birds of Paradise. Geez, we're not going to find it. Play Visionary. Draw a card. Play Visceracy. Pass the turn. Discard a Blood Artist. Oh, we were really hoping we'd hit a Rex Sage there. We got one more in our deck. I believe we didn't mill it, right? Opponent. Passing. Oh, was it Terminus again? Teferi. Okay. Well, that is another issue. Draws with Teferi. Untaps. Windswept Heath. That doesn't do anything. So go to combat. Attack our opponent. Play Eternal Witness. Play Zulaport Cutthroat. Alright, there's a Cryptic. Well, play Voice. Windswept Heath. Pass the turn. Good God, this game. I think we're just going to mill ourselves out. Our opponent drew more Rested Pieces than we drew Reclamation Sages, and that's, I think, how this one's going to end. Man, we've put together the janky beats as much as possible, but the Rex Sage must have been the very bottom card. Unless I'm missing it, and we exiled it in this huge pile, and I didn't realize it. Opponent. Another Terminus. Well, sack Visionary. There it is. Finally. The problem is it's not going to resolve. Ah! For the love of God! Alright, put stuff on the bottom. Jeez. Ugh. Ugh. So many rest in pieces. Opponent. Passing. Untapping. Yup. Untaps 2 lands. Let's Windswept Heath to shuffle. Untap. Another land. Well, we gotta try it. If they... Do we know they have a Cryptic? We don't know that they have a Cryptic. Yeah, we gotta go for it. Rex Age. Alright, Resolves. Gets rid of the Rest in Peace. Thank goodness. Play Blood Artist. Play Stitcher Supplier. Mill 2 Rally the Ancestors. Play Catacombs, pass the turn. Alright. I mean, we're still in this game, technically. Opponent untaps. Draws with Teferi. Up to 6 cards in hand. Glacial Fortress. Yep. No lands to untap. Oh. You don't gotta do that anymore. It's a May now. Taps, untaps. Yep. Well, we untap. Play Viscera. Go to combat. Attack our opponent. Attack our opponent. Opponent going to block with Colonnade. Sure. Blocks Rex Age. Sack Rex Age. Drain our opponent. 6. Stitcher Supplier. Hits our opponent to 5. 1, 2, 3. So let's sack Stitcher Supplier. Drain our opponent. Mill some cards. Down to 4. Catacombs, bottom. Play Eternal Witness. Get back Voice of Resurgence. Play Voice of Resurgence. Sack Eternal Witness. Drain our opponent. Rally, okay. Sack Voice. Drain our opponent. Are we getting slow rolled or do we piece this together? Down to 2. Sack Elemental. Drain our opponent. Down to 1. Stitcher Supplier. Sack it. Drain our opponent. 0 cards in our library through double Rest in Peace? Oh my goodness, what a game! What a game for Abzan Aristocrats! I kept thinking, like, our opponent wasn't scooping, so the entire time I was thinking something was going to go wrong. There was going to be, like, Blessed Alliance or something to ruin our plans. But it came through! Alright, that was a pretty good performance for Abzan Aristocrats. We will take it, sweet. Alright, much brew about nothing time. We are playing some Abzan Aristocrats in Modern, and, this hand's fine. We got no huge payoff to win the game, but it's a fine hand. We got some ramp, got some sack outlets, ancient stirrings. Yeah. Oh, Tron? I don't know about this. Worship is not helpful against Tron. Play the forest, play a Birds of Paradise. Ugly, mismatched, thank you treasure chest, Birds of Paradise. Urza's Mine. And Chromatic Sphere. And Expedition Map, alright. Opponent's only got 2 cards in hand, though. That's good news. Opponent passes. Blood Artist. So, Verdant Catacombs, crack it. Grab a Godless Shrine. Untapped. Play Viscera. Play Elvish Visionary. Ooh, we have double Blood Artists. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent cracks, gets a land. I mean, we can just double Blood Artist this turn. Cracks, screen, and passes. Alright, so we, Overgrown Tomb, play a Temple Garden, untapped. Go to combat, hit our opponent. Down to 18. Play a Zulaport Cutthroat. Play a Blood Artist. And we're actually not that far away from winning. Assuming our opponent does not have Graveyard Hate, because we can sacrifice our board to scry for a reanimation spell, and then we have the mana to reanimate everything. Although there's not really any rush yet. Walking Ballista. Alright. That might speed up the process. Going after our sack outlet. Alright, well I guess the time has come. Sacrifice Elvish Visionary. Drain our opponent. Drain our opponent. So we're basically scrying for Rally the Ancestors, is what we really want. Forest to the bottom. Do we keep birds? We don't really need the mana. Sack birds. Drain our opponent. I mean, if we find Rally the Ancestors, we just win. Swamp to the bottom. Sack Zulaport Cutthroat. Drain. I guess we can keep that as a consolation prize. Alright, keep Collected Company. That means we don't win this turn, but it's still a good card for us to have. Opponent. Passing. Well, play Overgrown Tomb. Pass the turn. And I mean, we're still drawing live to find, for the rest of the game, basically, unless our opponent finds a Relic of Progenitus, we're still drawing live to just win the game with Rally the Ancestors. Opponent. Getting in. Hitting us. We put a lot of lands to the bottom, too. Gonna pump Ballista. Well, let's do this now. I wouldn't mind getting rid of the Ballista, especially if we hit, like, Eternal Witness or something. Kills Blood Artist. Sure. Ping our opponent. Down to 10. Come on, company. Alright. Stitcher, Supplier, Viscera Seer. Put 2 rallies and a Collected Company to the bottom. That's not ideal. Gonna kill Viscera Seer. Yeah, there's really no point in scrying because we're gonna mill. Alright. Mill. Eternal Witness. Opponent passes. We draw a land. Oh no. We put a lot of cards that we wanted to the bottom there. And then we milled an Eternal Witness that would have also been good. There's not even really a point of playing. Well, play Birds of Paradise. Play Blooming Marsh. Alright. I mean, our opponent could just luck into Tron and we could still just lose. Cracks Chromatic Sphere. Oblivion Stone. Come on! Rally! Company! Alright, well, there's a company. Get in with Stitcher's Supplier. Hit our opponent, pass the turn. Thragtusk. Gain some life. Opponent. Passing, well, that's company. Take Blood Artist and Visionary. Put the rest to the bottom, draw a card. Ooh, well, that is Viscera Seer. Okay, play Viscera Seer. Play Horizon Canopy. Pass the turn. Alright, we get a bunch more looks to find what we're looking for to win the game. Expedition Map. So Tron will be assembled. Yup, Tron assembled, 7 mana. So we really would like to fight it this turn. That would make us much happier. Tower. Oh, this is so close. Phone it. Worm Coil. Alright, well, let's just win this turn. Opponent's got all the life gain. Opponent. Passing. Well. Sack Stitcher's Supplier. Drain our opponent. Mill some cards. Oh no. Those were the exact cards we needed. Oh, that's not good. Voice to the bottom. Sack Visionary. Drain our opponent. Stitcher Supplier to the bottom. Sack 1, 2, 3. Sack Horizon Canopy. Birds. Untap. Elves. Play elves. Play birds. Pass the turn. This running has not been ideal. We've been milling the very wrong cards that we needed to be drawing. We put 2 rallies to the bottom and we haven't found a fetch. And now we just milled Rally and Return to the Regs. Those are all cards that just win us the game. And now our opponent has Tron going. Ulamog. Alright, well, our only out here is to literally sack everything. And find our rally. Voice, bottom. Sack Birds of Paradise. Drain our opponent. Rally. Blood Artist, bottom. Sack Elves of Deep Shadow. Drain our opponent. Eternal Witness doesn't do it here, unfortunately. Not enough mana. To the bottom. Sack Blood Artist. Drain our opponent. Plains to the bottom. Oh, we're not going to find it, are we? Sack Viscera Seer. Rally. Visionary bottom. All right, deck. It's up to you. It's up to you to be good to us. Oh, man. We have had some pretty bum luck here. Opponent gets in for 11. Well, I mean, we put a lot of non-rally cards to the bottom, so our chances of drawing one are not that bad. It's a Supplier. Play Stitcher Supplier, pass the turn. Man, that was brutal. I'm pretty sure we scried so many cards to the bottom that both of our rallies are going to get exiled here. And then we can't win. Rally, 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 rally. Yep, that does it. All right. Well, that was a little bit unfortunate. We got so many looks at our deck to just win the game, and it wasn't meant to be. Our deck did not feel like doing it. So bring in Stony Silences. Oh, this is bad. Bring in Rex Age. We really need to win game ones because now our opponent's going to bring in a bunch of graveyard hate, which is going to make our life a lot more miserable. Go down, I guess, a couple of voice. Well, go down one Zulaport Cutthroat, one Voice Resurgence. Run it like that. I feel like we probably got unlucky there with the amount of scrying we did. Oh, man. Abzan, Aristocrats, why? Why? Now we're going to have to deal with graveyard hate. Well, now we got all of our rallies. Oh, where were you last game? Rally the ancestors and return to the ranks. Where? Where were you? We don't have a way to interact with Tron. We're just hoping to combo through Tron. Something like Fulminator Mage could be interesting in this deck, since we can rally it back. Alright, over on Tomb. Tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Power Plant. And alright, Expedition Map. Means quick Trons a comin'. Oh, Birds. Birds is so much better on turn 1. Visionary. Oh, Stony Silence. That would have... We're drawing everything one turn too late. Forest. Opponent. Passing. Well, Temple Garden. Untapped. Go to combat. Get in with our Visionary. Play... Let's go Voice of Resurgence, Birds of Paradise. Opponent cracks. Gets another Tron piece. Yep, Urza's mine. We don't have a way to put our opponent off Tron once they get there. Mine. Sphere. Cracks it. Come on. Come on. No tower. Alright. Well, that's what our opponent wanted. Opponent passes. That's not a bad draw. Play Stitcher Supplier. Mill some cards. Play Stony Silence. Actually, maybe we don't Stony Silence. Let's return to the ranks. Get back 2 Stitcher Suppliers. Mill some cards. Haven't found a Blood Artist. Play Viscera Seer. Get in with Voice of Resurgence. Pass the turn. So now, to win the game, well, let's see what our opponent does. Tower. 8 mana. Karn Liberated. Ooh, goes after our hand. Okay. Well, you can have our Stony Silence. And Expedition Map. Alright, so all we have to do is mill a Blood Artist. So, stack Stitcher Supplier. Scry. Stony Silence bottom. I guess actually we should be sacking other things to find Blood Artist. Collected Company bottom. Voice of Resurgence. Collected Company again to the bottom. Stitcher Supplier. Alright, there's a Blood Artist. So now we should be good. Forest bottom. Stitcher Supplier. Rex Age bottom. Alright, now we're good. Untap. Play the land. Crack the land. Grab a swamp. Rally X3, and we got a Blood Artist in the graveyard, so this does it. Get back everything. Draw before milling, just in case. That is something we learned you gotta be on top of with this deck. Draw a card. Yup, draw. Sure. Turn of Witness. Get back Rally. Draw. Mill. Actually, we don't even need to sack our stuff. I guess we just one-shot with Elemental. We have 18 creatures. Well, that's turn 5. That's 18 creatures, an 18/18 Elemental, and another infinite amount of drain from these Blood Artists. Not infinite, but so much drain, like 40. That's the power of Aristocrats. I mean, it does some really sweet things. Like, look at this game. That's turn 5. That's not bad. That is not bad on turn 5. Stitcher Supplier. Oh man, it takes a bit of getting used to. When I first started trying this deck, definitely some mistakes with the Stitcher Supplier's triggers. The biggest trick of the deck is really being aware of how you're stacking the triggers, both when you're rallying and when you're sacrificing. So gotta be aware of maximizing your odds of finding Rally the Ancestors, or like in that case, we sacked the Stitcher Supplier first. I think that was wrong. We should have immediately sacrificed everything else because all we cared about was getting a Blood Artist in the graveyard. If we get Blood Artist in the graveyard, we win that game. So sacrificing Stitcher Supplier to mill first, obviously that is reducing our chances of putting a Blood Artist on top to mill. So we definitely should, we got there after the first sacrifice, but we should have sacrificed our non-Stitcher Suppliers first, scrying to get a Blood Artist on top, then milling the Blood Artist, because really in that scenario, that's all that matters. Well, all right, we raced Tron in that one, which is good. Still not super comfortable with this matchup. We got lucky that they dodged Graveyard Hate, and lucky that our sack outlets make Karn not that good against us. Yeah, all right. Give it another spin. See if we can get the combo kill. The deck is super fun, though. Ooh, boy. All right. We'll keep this. A little sketchy, because we only have one land. And we are in the draw, which makes Stony Silence a little bit riskier, but opponent passes. Windswept Teeth. Crack it. Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. And Birds of Paradise. See what our opponent does this turn. Maybe this Stony Silence would be good for us. Opponent cracks green. Forest. Sylvan Scrying. All right, they're getting close. Mine. Opponent passing. Well, let's Stitcher Supplier. Mill some cards. Windswept Teeth. Crack it. Grab a Godless Shrine. Untapped. And Stony Silence. Pass the turn. We do need a sack outlet. That's the main thing we're missing. Sack outlet and then a rally effect. Opponent kills our birds. Ugh. Okay. Well, if they just naturally have Tron, that's bad news. There's a rally. We are short on lands, though. Elvish Visionary. Land? Ugh. Blood Artist. Get in with Stitcher Supplier. Yeah, that birds being dead puts us pretty far away from rallying. Pass the turn. Come on, no Tron. Have a bunch of artifacts that do nothing. That would make us happier. Come on, opponent. Tell us you don't have mine. No Urza's mines. Ah, Nature's Claim. Okay. Oh, God. Thragtusk. Well, there are scarier things our opponent could have played with active Tron. Not a land, though. Well, I mean, I guess we're just replaying Stony Silence and passing. The lack of lands might be doing us in. Opponent. Scrying. Alright, gonna have Megatron. Sanctum of Ugin. Oh, Lord. Karn. I'm having a hard time envisioning how we pull this together from here. Especially if our opponent just eats a land. Walking Ballista. Well, I'm glad they went that direction rather than the we win the game direction. Alright. Opponent. Getting in. Or not. Passes. Land? Alright. Yeah, that does it. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, we'll play a Blood Artist. Well, we beat Tron spectacularly in game 2, and our deck is kind of doing what it wants to be doing in this game. We just have not hit enough lands to really proceed our game plan. If we had hit 2 more lands, or if our bird had lived, we would be in pretty good shape to win the game. Stitcher Supplier to mill more cards, rally everything back. Is this Ulamog? Or I guess it doesn't even matter. Ballista X5. I'm not sure there's any way. Alright, kills Blood Artist. We ping our opponent. Gain a life. I mean, maybe our opponent can misplay somehow. Gets in. Block with Stitcher Supplier. Mill some cards. Please, not lands. 3 lands. Mill luck. Not strong. Not a land. Alright. And that does it. Aye! Well, the variance gods might have got us a bit. Mill 3 lands, draw non-land. Variance. Magic. Aristocrats. Well, we did really sweet things in game 2. Alright, much brew about nothing time. We are playing some Abzan Aristocrats in standard. And this hand's fine. Or not standard, modern. I said standard. I was chatting with our opponent. But this hand's fine. I mean, we could use a sack outlet. That's the main thing that we don't have, but we got the... Oh, man, we got so many Rally of the Ancestors. Well, Windswept Heath. Crack it. Grab a Temple Garden. Untapped. And Elves of Deep Shadow. If we're going to get a Mana Dork killed, I think Elves of Deep Shadow is better. Because we only have 1 Temple Garden, so we can't just fetch out another Temple Garden, and we need double white for these rallies. So we're hoping this lives, and next turn we can Cutthroat Pilgrim. And now we mostly just need ways to sacrifice stuff. Bone it. Ugh. That's a blowout. Well, we lose a rally, and we lose our Mana Dork. Voice should be good, at least. And, I mean, I guess we have 2 rallies. We probably don't really need both of them. Opponent. Passing. I'll play Blooming Marsh, run out our Voice of Resurgence, get some defense going, pass the turn. Voice is pretty good against green-black. They don't really have ways to... Yeah, alright, Liliana. That's really good against basically our entire deck. Opponent passes. Yeah, that's a annoyance. We need a way to get things in our graveyard. I'll play Windswept Heath. Do we even play anything? Yeah. Not good, not good. Yeah, let's just pass, I guess. Ugh. Alright, but yeah, pass the turn. This Liliana just kind of locks us out. What we need to find is a sack outlet. If we can find a sack outlet, then... Ugh. Alright, getting worse. There goes our rally. Now I guess what we really want is probably a collected company. Urborg takes up Liliana. Goif. I mean, we're down to 2 cards, but our opponent's down to... Yeah, we'll take Godless Shrine. Our opponent's down to 1 card, but we're essentially down to 0 cards. I'll play a Forest. I guess we just run out everything. Play Avacyn's Pilgrim. Play Zulaport Cutthroat. Play Viscera Seer. Pass the turn. So our opponent can kill 1 of our things. Their discard is also going to be dead now. We can do some scrying to try to find something. I think it's really a rally or a collected company we need. Goes after Zulaport Cutthroat. Do we sack the Voice is the question. I think so. Yeah, sack Voice. Drain our opponent. Scry. Coco or rally number 3. Yep, get the Voice token. Pilgrim, yeah, that's not going to do it. That just dies to Liliana, like everything else. Sack Viscera Seer. It's going to just die to Liliana. I guess it lets us Desperation Scry some more. Alright, we'll keep it. Yup. Tarmogoyf for our opponent. God, the Goyfs. Yeah, that's a lot of Goyfs. Opponent, passing. Well, we will play Viscera Seer. Pass the turn. So now I guess we just have to essentially sack everything to try to find a rally. We're to the desperation part of the game because this Liliana is going to ultimate. Goes after Zulaport Cutthroat. Well, they probably should have killed Viscera Seer. Sag Zulaport Cutthroat. Company. Can we keep living? We keep company. We take 12. Alright, we'll keep company. Yep. Liliana, part 2, kills our elemental. Goes to combat. Attacks. Well, we'll take it. Down to 15. Opponent passes. We draw company. Pass the turn. So same plan. Same plan as before. Company, sack everything, find rally. Ultimate's Liliana. Yup. So zombies are coming. Tracker. Company also lets us... Well, I mean, we gotta play it now. I guess it doesn't really let us Eternal Witness, but we collected company. So Blood Artist, Stitcher's Supplier. Alright, so take Blood Artist. Take Blood Artist. Alright, we didn't put any rallies to the bottom. If we draw a rally here, we win. And we get 4 scries to try to find it. There's a big attack. Well, I mean, might as well do it now. Block, block, block. Sack Pilgrim. Come on, rally. We need a rally. Drain our opponent, drain our opponent. Plains to the bottom. Sack Blood Artist. Double drain. Scry. That's a rally. We got there. We got there. Sack Blood Artist. Drain our opponent. Oh, man, we found it. Just in a nick of time. Whoo! Yup. All right, take 0. Opponent makes zombies. We untap. We rally. X2. And we ground it out. We ground it out. Get back everything. Sack Voice. Yeah, that's a lot of triggers. Hit our opponent. Hit our opponent. Cutthroat. Sack. Token. Opponent said you gotta be kidding. And I mean, in some ways we got lucky. We did hit a rally. On the other hand, our deck is built to try to scry for rally. Like, that is the plan of the deck. So while there is some amount of luck involved, it's also what the deck is trying to do. Scavenging Ooze is a annoyance that we might have to deal with. Kind of want the evolutionary leaps. This might, well, yeah, worship. Our opponent still has ways to get around worship. Settle, no. Missionary, no. Stony Silence, no. Thoughtseize, no. Well, let's bring in leaps. I don't even know about Rex Age. We might just bring in the 2 leaps. Go down the worship. Worship has not been good in any of our matchups. Go down Elves of Deep Shadow. Try like that. 0 lands. Yep, gotta ship it. Yeah, alright. This hand's fine-ish. Winds Up Teeth. Yeah, let's go bottom. Tap land for our opponent. And passes. Well, Verdant Catacombs. Crack it. Take an Overgrown Tomb. And, yeah, let's just Viserys here. Pass the turn. No oozes. No oozes. Please. Please, no oozes. Goyf is fine. Goyf is big, but we can block it for a while. Scavenging Ooze. Whew. Alright, there's a Goyf. Opponent passes. Well, play Horizon Canopy. Play Stitcher Supply. Oops. Play Stitcher Supplier. Do some milling. Play Avacyn's Pilgrim. Pass the turn. We did grow the Goyf for our opponent. Liliana is pretty annoying too. Although, our opponent did have an active Liliana all last game and we still won. So apparently Liliana the Last Hope is not, it's not just game over, even though it kills essentially just our entire deck. Oh boy. There's our nemesis. Opponent gets in. Hits us. Down to 13. Well, run out Visionary. Draw a card. Land. Play the Swamp. Run out Blood Artist. Pass the turn. I guess the bit of good news is our opponent doesn't have much mana to activate Ooze. Gets in with both. Alright, let's chump. Yeah, we're gonna feed this Ooze like crazy. Sack Stitcher's Supplier. Drain our opponent. Mill. Alright. 2 lands and a birds. Blooming Marsh to the bottom. Drop to 11. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat. Do some attacking. Hit our opponent. Windswept Teeth. Pass the turn. Eat Stitcher Supplier. I think we do this now, in case we hit Eternal Witness. Grab a Temple Garden. Untapped. Collected Company. Alright, Blood Artist, Elvish Visionary. Draw a card. Oh boy, that's a rally. Alright. We're actually in pretty good shape, even through this ooze. Since our opponent only has 2 mana. Unless our opponent has discard. If they don't have discard, I think we can just overwhelm the ooze and win. Swamp for our opponent. Liliana, okay. Hopefully that does it. Gonna kill Viscera here. Sure. Yeah, opponent didn't draw their lands enough, had to tap out, and now this rally should get them. Down to 17. Goes attacking. Well, block. Everything dies. We get 6 triggers. Yep. Do some draining. And now this rally should just do it. I think we got there. Alright. Scavenging Ooze is scary for our deck, but can we save target? Oh man, that's awesome. Good job, Magic Online. Play Viscera here. Rally. X2. And that should do it. Sack birds. Drain our opponent. Visionary. Drain our opponent. And opponent! I think they're scooping it up. Opponent scoops it up! And Abzan Aristocrats. Looking good there. Looking good through the graveyard hate. Maybe this deck is more resilient to graveyard hate than it looks. I mean, we can just win out of nowhere. We were aided by our opponent getting stuck on lands, but that's pretty sweet. That was pretty sweet. Alright. On to the next. Alright. Much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Abzan Aristocrats in Modern for a change. Been playing a lot of Standard lately, but in the Modern mood, and that sounds fine. Supplier. We don't have a sack outlet. That's mostly what we're missing. Sack outlet plus, I guess, lands, and then a rally. And this hand should be pretty good. Yeah, we'll keep it. Well, that's our opponent got going on. Ooh, Mountain. Well, yes. Oh, the Blood Artist deck. That seems good against Bird. Goblin Guide, give us that land. You know you wanna. Collected Company. Well, that's a minute away. Blooming Marsh and Stitcher Supplier. Well, we milled 3 non-lands. That's good. Mountain. I guess Eidolon is pretty obnoxious. Opponent. Gets in. And let's see what's revealed. Land? Maybe? Ugh, Collected Company. Again. Alright, we'll take it. Down to 16. Oh, Signal Pest. And Bomat Courier. Well, Godless Shrine. Untapped. And I guess we gotta just voice. Pass the turn. Put up some defense. Hopefully we draw lands eventually. Mountain for our opponent. Another Signal Pest. And a Bushwhacker. Oh god. That's a lot of damage. Opponent. Full out attack. Land? No. Rally of the Ancestors. Well. We might just be dead instead. Block. We mill this rally, which is fine. Drop to 6. We get a token. Untap. Catacombs. How do we get out of this? Well, play Zulaport Cutthroat. Play Verdant Catacombs. Pass the turn. Boy, that was an explosive start. Opponent. Yeah, that might just be too fast. Earthshaker Kenra. Does that kill us? Yeah, that's lethal. Alright. Huh! Well, I guess Signal Pest is quite the card. Yeah, that's lethal no matter what we do. Huh! I don't know what to say about that. Maybe that's just a really good draw. Well, we can bring in Lone Missionary. We can bring in Worship, which seems basically unbeatable. Finally finding a good Worship matchup. And maybe, like, Settle the Wreckage? Go down Elves of Deep Shadow. Go down 1 Avacyn's Pilgrim. Go down Eternal Witness, and return to the ranks. Let's try it like that. If we can find a worship, things should be pretty spectacular. Alright, we get to play first. Alright, I mean, I guess we'll keep this. Windswept Heath. Crack it. Overgrown Tomb. This is a lot of lands. But Voice of Resurgence is good. Mill some cards. Ugh. Mill 3 cards that we kind of wanted. Mountain. Legion Loyalist. Alright, opponent. Pass. Getting in? Okay. Well, we will block your Legion Loyalist. Mill some more cards. Oh, another rally. Ugh. And we drew another land. Okay. Okay. We milled a lot of non-lands, drawn the lands. Oh, those rallies would be so helpful. Opponent. Harsh Mentor. Passes. Seriously, Magic Gods? You gotta be kidding. Tap land, go. Well, we're being a little bit punished for keeping ye old 5-lander. Land for our opponent. Legion Loyalist. And a Bushwhacker, of course. Opponent's gonna get in some damage. Well, come on, Worship. Off the top. Opponent hits us. We can't stop it. Untap. We'll play the Swamp. Pass the turn. Settle might be good here. Seems more likely that our opponent will play around or be thinking Collected Company. Oh, yeah. Now they got it. Okay. Incoming Blowout. Settle? Your wreckage? Sideboard cards! Saves the day! The Voice of Resurgence stands alone. Huh! Alright. That was a good draw. That was a good one. Okay. Opponent passes. Oh my god, more lands. Horizon Canopy. Crack Horizon Canopy. Stitcher Supplier. Yeah, I guess we get in. Opponent's only got 2 cards in hand. Although they have... Man, watch them have Banefire or some other nonsense. Ugh, Chain Whirler. Okay. Whirls away our Stitcher Supplier. We really need a rally. Wow! No way! No way! No, that's not real. That is not real life. Okay, well, I guess we should not have attacked with that Voice of Resurgence. Apparently our opponent had a 5-card combo to win the game. Alright. Well, I don't know what to say about that. I have literally nothing to say. Okay. I mean, maybe we should not have kept that hand. I guess maybe the voice tack was too greedy. I guess we were not going to draw anything. Wow! Alright. Well, that's a lot of wax. Alright, much ado about nothing time. We are playing some Abzan Aristocrats in Modern, and that sounds fine. We got no payoffs, really, but hopefully we find them at some point. Birds of Paradise, go. We gotta find little creature curve. Opponent. Sacred Foundry. Untapped. Bolts the birds. Alright. Opponent passes. I'll play Temple Garden. Untapped. And let's just voice. Pass the turn. Marsh Flats. Opponent cracks it. Maybe this is Mardu Pyromancer. Inquisition. I'm probably going to take our Stitcher's Supplier. Actually, I don't know. Maybe you take Eternal Witness. Takes Witness. And Looting. Blood Moon is a concern. That is a big concern. Opponent. Passes. Well, there's Rally. Play Stitcher's Supplier. Mill some cards. Play Catacombs. Go attacking. So Catacombs can get us a forest, which I guess at least lets us cast Mana Dorks. We probably can't beat a Blood Moon, though. Opponent. Mountain. Young Pyromancer. Okay. That's better than Blood Moon. Opponent. Passing. Well, crack this. Definitely grabbing a forest. Untap. Play Horizon Canopy. Yeah, get in with Voice. Pass the turn. Now we mostly need a sack outlet. Alright. Lingering Souls. Making some dorks. Opponent passes. Alright, untap. Another Voice. Well, play Voice. Yeah, go attacking. Actually, let's leave back Supplier. Get in with Voice. Opponent takes it down to 11. Pass the turn. So we need a sack outlet and a Blood Artist effect. Jeez, more Pyromancers. Yup. And Dreadbore on Stitcher Supplier. That's fine. Hopefully we get some creatures milled. Blood Artist, sack outlet. Ooh. Ooh, okay. We're short a sack outlet, but... oh, man. So risky. Opponent. Getting in with the Flyers. We take it. We draw Swamp. Play the Swamp. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Opponent blocks. Opponent takes it. Alright, pass the turn. Rallying without a sack outlet is super risky. But we are probably going to do that. If our opponent goes on the big attack. Opponent. Oh no. Is this Blood Moon? That's not ideal. Opponent. Combat. Alright. Well, now we're going to do it. Rally. X3. And this might just win us the game, even without the sack outlet. We can just do a ton of chump blocking. So we're still going to get our stuff in the graveyard, just in a less traditional way. Opponent's thinking it over, but... alright. So mill Eternal Witness back the Plains for Blood Moon purposes. Draw a couple cards. Whew, and a Worship. So now we just gotta block so as much stuff as possible dies. Get back the land. Mill ourselves. Alright. Block everything. Block, block. 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 Oh man. Alright, so we take 0. And we might get a bunch of Zulaport triggers. I think our opponent has to kill the Zulaport Cutthroat. Yep, Kolaghan's Command kills Cutthroat. Yep. That's fine. Makes a couple tokens. Opponent's got to do that just to not be literally dead. We will discard Windswept Heath. Opponent drops to 6. A bunch of stuff dies. We get milled. If we hit a sack outlet, we just win. We do not. Alright, opponent passes. Nothing gets exiled. We return to the ranks. Play the Plains. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I guess we just do that. Go Zulaport, Stitcher Supplier, Stitcher Supplier. Visionary, Visionary, Elves of Deep Shadow. Actually. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What am I missing? Some of them? 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, why is this so difficult? Oh my goodness, why can I not click these? Stitcher Supplier. Elvish Visionary. Second Elvish Visionary. Stitcher Supplier. Birds of Paradise. Zulaport Cutthroat. Alright. Tap all of our stuff. Get back all of our stuff. Well, most of our stuff. Draw some cards, mill some cards. Yup. Mill, mill, draw, draw. And, yeah, we'll pass. We still haven't found a sacrifice outlet. Still no Viserys here. Although I guess we can Collected Company for one. And these ones stick around. Thanks to, Return to the Ranks. Return to the Ranks is also nice because we can get it back with Eternal Witness. Alright, Faithless Looting. Bedlam Reveler. Yeah. Discarding, drawing. Well, there goes a Blood Moon. We were right to be worried about Blood Moon. Bloodstained Mire. Cracks it. I mean, we're super close to just winning, though. Opponent. Looting. Sure. I guess we could also Worship if we really wanted to. And Inquisition. Alright, so opponent gets to take our Rally. But we don't need Rally to win. We just need to hit a Zulaport Cutthroat off of this Collected Company. Actually, Blood Artist in All Out Attack probably does it as well. just from stuff naturally dying. And, alright. That went pretty well. Oh, the sideboard is so strange. So bring in Rex Ages. Oh, they do have Collective Brutality. Worship does dodge a lot, though. Collective Brutality is a card they want in their deck. Thalia seems fine-ish. It slows down our opponent a lot more than us. Evolutionary Leap would also let us do some grinding if we can make room. So I think we, like, go down Zulaport Cutthroat, go down Elves, go down one Avacyn's Pilgrim, go down one Return to the Ranks. Maybe we stick with one Worship. Do we actually want Thalia? It seems pretty obnoxious for our opponent. Yeah, let's not. Let's not Thalia. Let's just run it like that. This hand. Alright, we're going to keep it. It offers a decent amount of upside. We should hit our black mana. Voice is very good. Alright, there's Inquisition. Double Rally offers a lot of late game I win out of nowhere potential. Opponent takes Voice. Makes sense, considering the rest of our hand doesn't do much. Well, Horizon Canopy, Birds of Paradise. Decent draw if it manages to live somehow. What do you got? What do you got? We do want black mana. Alright, Faithless Looting. Sure. Oh, they missed their land drop even with Faithless Looting? That's a little ridiculous. Well, we will Stitcher's Supplier. Mill some cards. Oh man, that's good news for us. Avacyn's Pilgrim. Plains. Pass the turn. And opponent's going to need to draw their mana screw pretty quick. Inquisition. Takes a rally. We got a company left over, though. Oh, man. Company's coming. Opponent passes. Ooh, and Viscera Seer. Well, get in with Stitcher's Supplier. Yeah, we are really close to winning this game. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Opponent. Pretty unfortunate for our opponent to looting and whiff. Alright, well, there goes the rally plan. So now I guess we're on the janky Collected Company beatdown plan. That's a good one. Well, thankfully we got this Collected Company. So there is a chance we just win the super fair game. Well, combo off the table. Opponent. Passing. All right, Coco, be good to us. What do we want? Like, Voice would be sweet. Blood Artist would be sweet. 3 Cocos. Well, I guess it's Visionary and Stitcher Supplier doesn't do much now that our graveyard stuff's gone. All right, Reclamation Sage. Put all of our collected companies to the bottom, unfortunately. Draw a card. Visionary. Now, there's a Voice. So, play Voice. Play Viscera Seer. Attack with everything. Well, this is not the plan. But we might be able to just Jacob out. Opponent. We're doing all this with 2 lands, too. Opponent's passing. Well, yeah, we're going to go for it. Sack Voice. Extirpate Voice. Well, our opponent exiled a lot of our good cards. I believe we still get the token, though. I'm pretty sure this does not fizzle. Because it did die. Yeah, alright. Temple Garden, sure, that's fine. Untap. Opponent scopes it up, and we completed the classic... the classic 3-2 with Abzan Aristocrats, which means the kids are eating. We get 1 chest to open. Man, we played some interesting games with that deck. That deck is fun. It is interesting. I'm not 100% sold on the sideboard plan. Might need a little something in the sideboard. No Path to Exile, no Graveyard Hate. Scary, but we beat a lot of things that are good against us. Scavenging Oozes, Restive Pieces, so I don't know. I mean, the deck felt pretty reasonable. But let's open a treasure chest, our one and only. Come on, something sweet, something sweet. Dragon Throne of Tarkir. Never seen anyone play this. Not even like against the odds playable. Just not a great equipment. Turd Tibber Ranger, combo potential. Justice Strike, that's a good standard uncommon to have. The Terminate of Boros. Equipped creature has Defender, pay 2 tap at other creatures you control can trample and X possess, where X is that creature's power. Yeah, I mean, that's not the worst. I could imagine Tomer playing this in a commander deck, probably with Kaldra. Alright, well, that is Abzan Aristocrats. We'll talk about it in the wrap-up. Be right back. So what do we learn this week about Abzan Aristocrats in Modern? And overall, the deck was pretty solid. We played a league with the deck, ended up going 3-2, which, not an insane record. We lost to Tron in a match where we got a little mana screwed, maybe should have mulliganed a little bit more aggressively, and then we lost to a weird build of 8-Whack, which was just super aggressive, and maybe we were a little bit too aggressive. We just basically got caught by surprise. Our opponent played 2 Bushwhackers. We figured, what are the odds they have a 3rd Bushwhacker? So we attacked with our Voice of Resurgence, and our opponent had like creature Bushwhacker to Xaxes us out of nowhere, which was a little bit frustrating. I felt like we had stabilized in that one. So regardless, the deck was pretty legit. And maybe the most impressive part of the deck was we played against a blue-white control deck that drew multiple Rest in Pieces, and we managed to win. We played against a Scavenging Ooze deck or two, which could eat our creatures from the graveyard, and we managed to win. So while on paper, Abzan Aristocrats looks like it really struggles with graveyard hate, in practice, it didn't really have that hard of a time, and we were able to still find a way to win, and not just beating down, which is a backup plan. Like, we do have a bunch of just efficient creatures. They're not especially powerful, but we can just play a bunch of random creatures and attack. But with our Reclamation Sages in the sideboard, we were able to find ways to get rid of the graveyard hate and pull off the wins even through that disruption. The deck itself, it is not the fastest combo deck, but apart from graveyard hate, it's just really resilient, and it can go off at instant speed, which makes it really hard for people to deal with, even against like control decks. Against some combo decks, their answer is just like, oh, we'll counter your big combo piece. But with this deck, since we can rally at instant speed and also Collected Company for value at instant speed, the deck is really resilient and is able to play around counter spells and things that would shut down other combo decks. Stitcher Supplier is just great in the deck, but it also adds some layers of complexity. This is the second league I played with the deck. I played like a test league to get used to it, and I gotta tell you, it takes a little bit of practicing to do things right with the deck, because you often end up with this huge stack of triggers, and my first instinct when you just have this big pile of triggers is just to kind of click them randomly and just like get through them. But with this deck, the way you order your triggers is actually pretty important, because the key interaction of this deck, and hopefully it came through in the videos, is Viscera Seer. That is really the centerpiece of the deck. Obviously, it is our sack outlet, so we can sacrifice our board, get a bunch of Blood Artists and Zulaport Cutthroat triggers, but more importantly, it's our way to find our Rally the Ancestors, or Return to the Ranks, or find our Blood Artist effect, whatever piece we're missing. So a lot of times we have these scenarios where we're sacking creatures, not because they're going to win us the game, or even because we really want to sacrifice the creatures, but because they allow us to scry to find the piece that we're missing. So we got some weird situations where we needed like a Blood Artist in our graveyard, which is a really weird, specific thing to need, but the order that you sacrifice things is really important. You want to sacrifice non-Stitcher Supplier creatures first to try to scry a Blood Artist to the top, so that when you sacrifice Stitcher Supplier, you can mill into the graveyard. So all this rambling to say, be aware of your triggers with this deck. There are some tricks, and there is some complicated stuff going on. Sometimes it doesn't really matter, but the order that you like put your Elvish Visionary trigger and Stitcher Supply trigger really matters sometimes. Like, do you want to draw the top card of your deck? Do you know what it is because of Viscera Seer? If so, then you want the Elvish Visionary trigger to resolve first when everything comes back into play. If you don't want the top card of your deck, then you can mill first with Stitcher Supplier. So there's a lot of weird little edges that you need to take advantage of to really get maximum value out of this deck, because this is not a deck that's just going to overpower your opponent. It is a very synergistic, tricky deck. You're not just going to slam big creatures, play some removal, attack your opponent, and you got to get those little tiny small edges, and I'm sure I didn't even do it 100% well. I felt like I was was improving with the deck from the first league to the second league. So if you do decide to pick up the deck, make sure to play it a lot, because there are a lot of weird tricks going on. As far as changes to the deck, wasn't impressed with the one Worship, which sounds weird because I love Worship more than pretty much anyone, but we ran into a lot of matchups where it just wasn't really very effective, and it made me think that maybe Worship isn't really a main deck option right now in the modern format, with decks killing with things like big walking ballistas, which can mow down all of our creatures, and decks still playing things like collective brutality. It might just be that the Worship slot is kind of unnecessary. The other thing that kind of took me by surprise was 0 Path to Exiles in the 75. Seeing them not in the main deck, whatever, that's fine, but not having any in the sideboard, a little bit scary. It's not like you even have any removal, so I was very worried about things like Scavenging Ooze, which can just lock down our combo. So I feel like 1 or 2 removal spells somewhere in the 75 would be good. It might not even be Path to Exile, it might just be that Assassin's Trophy is a way to go. Assassin's Trophy, it might be the perfect card for this deck, because it gives us an answer to Scavenging Ooze, also gives us an answer to like Rest in Peace, other graveyard hate, plus we can just kill a random creature or removal spell. So maybe slot 1 into the main deck over the Worship, and then put a couple more in the sideboard. But overall, the deck felt really close to being good, and it was still good enough as it was. Like, a 3-2 record is fine, and in some of our losses, I really feel like if we had played a tiny bit better, or mulliganed just a little bit better, we might have been able to pull out wins. Like, the deck plays a lot of really close, hard-fought games. So, like I was saying earlier, make sure to practice a lot, get used to those little edges, because it is not a deck that's just going to overwhelm your opponent with raw power, but if you can learn all the tricks and play the deck well, it's very, very strong, and having Stitcher Supplier is a huge addition to a deck like this. So I think Aristocrats, even in our current format that has a lot of graveyard hate running around because of Dredge being good, thanks to the new Guilds of Ravnica cards, seems like a pretty legit option. So if you like sacrificing your stuff for value, filling the graveyard, draining people out with Blood Artist, I think you can do worse than Abzan Aristocrats, assuming you're willing to put in the work and do a lot of practicing. Because like I said, not the easiest deck to just pick up and play because of all the weird tricks and triggers you're putting on this deck. But anyway, that's been our Bunch of Brew for this week. Abzan Aristocrats for Modern. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.